camera quality is probably so bad, but do I care? Not really. Carrie. There is really not much I can say about this book, so I'm gonna break it off into the 3 parts that it gives us in the story. And the first one being, like, you know, everything that led up to it, like the beginning, you know, if you've ever seen the movie, you know, the whole shower scene and everything, it's described in this book. And then you get point of views from Sue and Chris, which, cool. But why are you writing sex scenes about teenagers? That was my big thing. What? Yeah. And I didn't really like it at first. Like, I was just going through it because I'm like, I need to read this book. I need to read this book. My mom got it for me for Christmas. I need to read this book. So that's what got me through the whole first part. And then 3 days later, I'm on part 2, which is the prom night. And in the movie, she's portrayed as, you know, this really skinny girl, but in the book, she's not. And in the book, she's described as, like, I don't even want to say it because it's mean. But then they start describing her when she's in her prom dress, and she's like, well, Carrie's actually a really pretty girl, and she looks amazing. But then the whole pig's blood thing happened, and they're all like, oh yeah, pig's blood for a pig. But you were the same people that were just saying, you look amazing, and being like, I wish I would have got to know you sooner, right? Hate that. I'm pretty sure this book was made to scare children out of bullying others, but this book is just, that's how I feel about it. And the whole police reports and stuff like that that comes, like, during the prom night, that threw me off because I didn't know what I was following. I didn't know who was talking at some points. And I was like, what does this have to do with anything in the story? Especially because it happened before the main plots. Like, the whole prom laid out after the whole pig's blood thing. It was happening before that, and I was like, okay. And then they kept going with it. And I thought the little articles about telekinesis was pretty cool. But they had these big gaps. And when it would start, it wasn't always from Carrie's point of view, so you really had to take a guess on who was talking. Which, cool, I guess. But a few hints would have been nice, especially because I feel dumb reading Stephen King's writing, since he uses such big words. But that's also fine. And then we go through the whole motions. Spoiler alert, Carrie dies in it, if you didn't know. And Sue, like, is in her mind somehow when she dies. And it reminded me of another book I read, and I was like, oh my gosh, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And I felt really bad, because I was like, wow. You really had to do it, wow. And then the whole chapter after that is the part 3, which is called Wreckage. And the thing I thought was cool about that, the thing pronouncing her dead. That was pretty cool. And then after that is 5 pages of the conclusions from the articles and the interviews. And then a letter, which, if you've seen the movies, you know there's a Carrie 2 about, apparently, like, a stepsister or something, because Carrie's dad cheated on the wife, which, I don't like you, Margaret. Anyway, but, yeah. And so at the end of the book, you get to see another little girl from Georgia? Tennessee? There's 2 of them right here, so I don't really know. From Tennessee. Yes, from Tennessee. A little girl from Tennessee has the same powers as Carrie. And so I think that's the little girl from the second movie. But I was just like, yikes. But yeah. 3 stars. I don't think I'll read it again. Yeah. And justice for Tommy. Bro did not deserve that. I laughed about it in the movie, but in the book,